Hello Uganda, good evening and welcome to the show On The Spot. My name is Patrick Kamara and tonight we shed the light on Greater Kampala Metropolitan area, and my guests this evening are ladies of substance who understand Kampala just like nobody else. And so we'll be looking into the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development Program, talk about the roads, talk about the markets, talk about other issues that you have that perhaps have been a problem to you, and now we're going to see how Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area can be developed and how the problems we encounter can be solved. I'll be introducing my panel very shortly. The Greater Kampala Area Urban Development Program. My guests are, I have Minister Kabanda, Minister for Kampala, Capital City and Metropolitan Affairs. Thank you so much for joining us, Honorable.
Thank you so much also for...
We also have Monica Edemachu Ejur, Under Secretary, Ministry of Kampala, Capital City and Metropolitan Affairs. Ladies, a warm welcome to both of you.
Thank you, moderator. Good evening, viewer.
So let me begin with a very general question, and I'm going to begin with you, Ejur. What is the investment menu for the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development Program?
Thank you, moderator. The Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development Program is a government of Uganda program that is focusing on infrastructure development in order to improve mobility, accessibility, and interconnectivity in the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area that comprises of Kampala Capital City Authority, Wakiso District, and Mukono and the Mpigi districts, together with the 5 municipalities in Greater Kampala. And it is focusing on road infrastructure development, drainage improvement, and development and creation of workspaces in order to create jobs for the unemployed youth. So that is what the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Urban Area Urban Development Program is looking at. It is a 5-year program financed by World Bank and the French Development Agency, co-financed. And the World Bank is contributing $566 million, while French Development Agency is co-financing with $42.6 million. So that is what the program is.
That's colossal sums of money. And Monica, when did this program begin? Is it only beginning? Is it underway? You know, when I'm asking this because I just want to point out areas for Kampala that are so problematic for us who live in Kampala.
This program was effective on 28th December 2023, and we embarked on preparing the different projects. You know, it's a program which has so many projects. So we embarked on preparing the projects, and already the flagship projects were we had in Chira municipality and Mukono municipality, where you see some of the roads like Kungu, Bivanju, Cyprian Road, which commonly people know as the Bulindo. And then we have Kame, Cathedral Rise, Nabuti. We have Untao, Nasuti in Mukono municipalities. And then phase 2, we had projects in other entities in Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area.
Okay, I appreciate the fact that you actually know these roads offhand, which means you have actually gone to them and you understand them. But, Honorable Minister, really, Kampala, the city that is under your stewardship, is a city that does not give us pride. Kampala is a congested city. Kampala is a noisy city. Kampala is messy. Kampala is not the city we would be proud of to be the city of the Pearl of Africa. Why is it taking so long for only us to wait for the World Bank and the French government to put in money? Yet we know Kampala and Greater Metropolitan area, 70% of Uganda's economy, Honorable Minister, is developed in this area. Can't we put as much?
No, thank you very much, Moderator. And I'm so grateful that I'm here to talk to Ugandans, my fellow Ugandans. But as far as the budget is concerned, I think previously we didn't have that budget. So this time they are giving us money from the World Bank. Government is also giving us money. And the French government. So that's why we have started on the roads. I know, I also see that the roads are not all that best, but we are trying our level best. That's why we have started doing, because we have money now. And previously we had a problem of right of way, but we've tried to talk to people and they have given us land free. Because the World Bank does not provide us money.
Ugandans are giving you government land for free for public,
yes, because
for public projects?
It's for their, yes, no, it's for their own good. Because if they are developing that area, that means also your land is going to get value. So they have started to give us money. They have done a lot, and we talk to them. Sometimes they resist, but at least we've tried to talk to them. Like those roads we have maintained, and we have done in Chira municipality, Ndikutamada, all those roads. At least they have given us money, and we do appreciate that they have been cooperative with us and they have given us money. They have given us their land.
Okay, I know, because we're going to judge you, or not to judge us, to appreciate how the work will be after the project is done. But for now, you are only beginning. Okay, some roads have been constructed, like the one Monica and yourself have been able to tell us. But for the project that began 2023, that means it is still ongoing, right?
Yes, we give
so
them
so there's a lot
months.
more that's going to be done. But Monica, really, this city is so much messed up. Sometimes we wonder, where have the leaders of Kampala been for Kampala city to reach this extent? For example, we have lacked efficient public transport system for Kampala. You get on the gridlock of Kampala and you can spend 2-3 hours when you're traveling in a distance of only 1 kilometer because of a jam. And yet, we have KCCA, we have the ministry, we have the executive directors, we have all these people, including yourselves, are experts. You have to make it Kampala work for us.
Thank you, Mr. Kamara. One thing, as Ugandans, we must love our country. When we start by putting it on the negative side, it's like we have done nothing all the years. Government has put in a lot of effort, and the development is a process. Government has injected a lot of money to improve infrastructure in this city. We have over 2,000 kilometers of roads that are to be improved in the city alone. So it is not going to be one-day process. Way back under Kidip, when you go that side of Chanja, there have been a lot of improvement in the infrastructure. So this Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development Program is additional to the previous efforts by government. When you go along Port Bell Road, government is working on that road. So it is not only that it is today that infrastructure development has started in the country or in Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area. Me and you must work hard to clear the mess, if at all it is there, in the city. So as the stakeholders, we all have a role to play to make sure that we have a very good and conducive environment to live in. And that is why you see the communities have voluntarily supported government effort by giving us right of way, and which we appreciate and we're happy about. And my minister has talked about that.
And Mr. Kamara, to add on that, if you look at the population right now, previously the population was not as big as now. Kampala was meant for only 30,000 people, but now it's for 2 million people and above. So that means we need to work hard. We need to work as a team to improve Kampala. Like Shaz said, Kampala, we should all improve. The way we live, the way we stay, the way we do everything in the markets and everywhere. So that means Kampala should be, it's a combined effort, not only for government, not for anybody.
I agree with you entirely, but Honorable Minister, you know, we appreciate that money has been invested in Kampala, but sometimes when a project begins, I'm going to give you an example of the roads in areas of Namuongo, for example, 8th Street and 6th Street and 7th Street. And these roads were started almost 3, 4, 5 years back. Today we can see that they are almost nearing completion. Why should a 3-kilometer road, Honorable Minister, take more than 4 years to construct, even when the money is available? What explains that?
Maybe, Mr. Kamara, one thing I must interject here is, one, development of road is not just about getting money and you go and start building a road. You must design a road. You must procure a contractor. And previously, our procurement process was a little long. And the government has put in effort in the law to ensure that the time spent during procurement is shortened. And that is why you see today we're able to fast track the process and things appear like they are new, but before, government has done a lot to make sure that these roads are put right. So if
Monica,
you see those
I
delays,
have good authority that those particular roads, actually the contract to reconstruct those roads was signed 3 or 4 years back.
That's what I am saying.
Yes. So how do you sign a contract, Honorable Minister and Madam Undersecretary, with somebody to build a road, and as if they have no capacity, as if they are not ready, but they have signed already?
Our contracts, Honorable Minister, are 18 months now. Okay? Are 18 months. From the time of signing the contract, most of the contracts, to the time of completion, it is exactly 18 months. Meaning 1.5 years to make sure that the road is completed and handed over. If in the past there were delays, today you see a difference because government has tried to make sure that the processes are shortened and we implement these programs on time.
And Mr. Kamara, if you're constructing a road, it's not a matter of digging and covering. It's a process. Because some areas are wet areas. Those are wetlands, especially in the industrial area, and those 8th streets you are talking about, Namuongo area. All those are wetlands. So that means we have to make sure the water goes the other side, then they start the construction, they cover, they wait for some years, for some days, then they cover until when they reach the real work which they need. So me at one time I was also asking, because I was green about that, but I asked the engineers, why do you take all that long? They told me, no, we need to work in phases, not just digging, put maram, do this and do this. Otherwise, they will break within a month or 2 months.
I appreciate that, Honorable Minister, but there was a time when you could see there's actually not even a movement, not even a single earth mover, a single grader on the road. And I know you have signed, it has taken a year, more than a year, nothing is visible. Well, I can imagine sometimes they need to change utility lines and stuff like that.
And Mr. Kamara, one thing, the lesson government has learned from delays, you know, is today government has focused on P4R. When you see this Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development Program, we are implementing it on results and performance. And in this situation, an entity that performs well can earn more money than what had actually been planned. And this has created some kind of competition among the different entities, the 9 entities in Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area. And it is giving us a lot of energy in making sure that we fast track. So every day we learn lessons. Where we have made mistakes, we try to make sure that we address and do things in a better way. So that is what I can tell you.
So Monica, what is the financing model for the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area and the Urban Development Program? How effective is it?
It is actually effective because we have agreed on disbursement-linked indicators, which each entity must meet. And we carry out assessment annually to see the performance of each entity, whether they have met those indicators. And an entity that has performed better or better than the rest earns based on their performance. So this has created competition, and it has enabled people to work hard to make sure that if it is an issue of saying all the critical stuff must be in place. Community involvement through Metropolitan Development Forums. We have constituted Metropolitan Development Forums in each entity. And these create awareness, mobilize communities, and ensure that grievances are addressed quickly. So it is really helping us, and I believe the contracts that we have signed will really be implemented in a period of 18 months.
So, okay, Honorable Minister, the other issue that is always problematic are the project-affected persons. We are lucky that in some cases you have people who are giving you right of way, but there could be those who would want to be compensated.
Of course.
So how are you dealing with the PAPs?
Sometimes politics can also affect these projects, because here there are some people who even go behind us until people don't accept because they think there is money for compensation. So we should also talk about that. Secondly, we always go and talk to them, because it's their land. They should, and if you sweet talk them, sometimes they agree, although there are some others who refuse. So
how do you deal with those who refuse compensation? Maybe they want more. Probably there could even be those who don't want to move at all. And people are so emotionally attached to their land.
But sometimes there are few meters, just not a big chunk of land, but sometimes there are few meters, but still, okay, it's part of the problem. But at least as far as we are concerned, Greater Kampala, we've not experienced so much problems like that.
Now you see, maybe to add on that, when we were designing this program was designed in consultation with the communities, with the implementing entities. And we agreed that we asked the entities, are we going to have right of way? They told us what they need is the road infrastructure. And as we went on board, of course you cannot rule out having one or two people who may raise issues, but we also sit and dialogue with them and come to a consensus. And I want to tell you, we have learned a lot of lessons from community engagements. And one thing they have come to realize is, if this program is successful, the value of their assets will increase. Meaning, they are actually going to have more benefit than they had with undeveloped road infrastructure. And of course, with awareness creation, people are willing. And even this program is supporting this PDM, because people are going to be able to market their products. We're also developing markets where people are able to do business with the PDM money and good infrastructure developed. There should be improvement in the livelihood and household income.
And
so,
Mr. Kamara,
yes.
they also appreciate, because when you put a good road there, they can even put a good supermarket, good hospitals, schools, and everything.
Roads attract investment.
Yes, attract investment. But so that means someone who reasons can easily say, construct here, I'm going to give you this, so long as, because even the houses, they rent. it also increases.
But you even know that people have made noise about potholes, about dusty roads. So coming up with the good road is a blessing, and people are happy.
There's no doubt when you have a good road, that increases the value of the area, and of course it attracts investment. But I want to come back to City Hall itself. Honorable Minister, you've had a lot of misunderstandings. You find the executive or ministers like you are not in coordination with the elected councillors and the mayor is not talking with the executive director and technocrats. Have you been able to solve that? Are you all pulling in one direction, reading from one page? Because that has been a problem, Honorable Minister.
But I think you can also see now, for us we don't have any problem. Because the mayor is there, he plays his roles. I'm the minister, I know my roles, and he's the undersecretary, and she knows her roles. So that means we work together. And I think we have not had any problem as recent. I know there were some problems previously, but now there are no problems. Okay, sometimes, like sisters, you can always fight and then you talk. But otherwise, with our politics, you cannot say there are no wrangles, there is nothing, but at least like today.
You know, Honorable Minister, Kampala is a very problematic area. I'm saying this because I have seen people in positions of leadership or managing Kampala have even ended in prison. People have been even killed by garbage. Kampala is not easy. Kampala is a problem. You talked about markets, Monica, but sometimes markets are built and people don't have the enthusiasm to use the markets. I will say the example of Wandega. It took forever for people even to occupy it. When you are building markets, do you talk to the vendors? Do you make thorough research that the market is ideal there and the people want it, or even want to be upstairs? Actually,
the projects we have embarked on were generated bottom up. And the markets that we are designing, we make sure that the vendors have input in the design. And we ensure that it is vendor-friendly design. And what we did as a government, we came up with a tool that captures the information of the vendors, that gets ideas from the vendors, and we make sure that this market will have minimal or lesser conflicts. How? The market where we are going to have an intervention must be registered in the names of the local government. So it is not individually owned, it is owned by government. And the government is trying to create workspaces for people such that they can improve their livelihood. And we are moving together even in the development of the market with the beneficiary communities. So I believe we are not going to really have much challenges when it comes to occupation, usage of these markets. And where we see issues, we allow our implementing entities to first sit and resolve before we develop, because we don't want to see white elephants all over this place. We want to see developments which are being utilized.
Honorable Minister, whereas we appreciate you are able to shift, for example, if I give an example of a market from Kasubi, and then you shifted it to
the roadside
Namungona.
Yes.
But it was from one roadside at the junction to another roadside in the middle of a corner, which again has created more congestion. But I've also had, the market vendors, the people complain because you have taken them far away. Kasubi had so many exits. You have Kawala, you have I think Makere Road, you have the road to the royal tombs and to Nakulagi. So they could get the traffic would be, many people come there. Now you take them to Namungona on a corner, they are isolated where the people are, but as far as the road is concerned, it is causing a jam in rush hour.
Do you know what used to happen that side previously? The congestion which was there, the accidents which were there. But sometimes it's just a matter of a mindset change. People don't appreciate changes. They think if you go there, you will not get customers. But we always go to areas like supermarkets and buy things there. It's not just a matter of being at the roadside and then they come and buy from you. But if you remove them all at once, the customers will also go to the other market and buy those things. Otherwise, if we keep on saying I'm not going to get customers, I'm not going to do what, then we shall remain like that and we shall not improve as Kampala. So we need to teach them, we need to educate them, we need to talk to them and take them. No, even if you are there, customers are going to come there. And I know in the long run, they will learn that we have to be there.
All right.
Otherwise, that's why sometimes even the vendors think, if you move with their things moving around, they think that's when you're going to get customers. But eventually, when you remove them off streets, still they will get other customers from the shops.
Honorable Minister Minsa Kabanda and Monica Damachu, we are going to take a break, and on the spot, we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching On the Spot. My name is Patrick Kamara. My guests this evening are, I have the Honorable Minsa Kabanda, Minister for Kampala, Capital City and Metropolitan Affairs. I have Monica Damachu Ejura, Under Secretary, Ministry of Kampala, Capital City and Metropolitan Affairs. We now know that the World Bank has given over $400 million and the French government over $40 million, all of them to try and help Kampala and the greater metropolitan areas. But to be specific, this money that, Monica, you say will be working on markets, roads, and the drainage system, is it enough?
It is better to start. I told you we have over 2,000 kilometers of roads, road infrastructure to develop. And we have so many markets. And it's not only markets, we're supposed to create workspaces for the unemployed youth.
So for the over 2,000 kilometers of roads, how much of that is paved?
About 200 and something. It doesn't reach 500.
So the big chunk of the roads in Kampala are maram.
Yeah, they are maram. They are maram. Once this program comes to an end, we should have at least a bigger section of this road. Already, we have designed and signed contracts for about 92.5 kilometers, which is really a big achievement. And we are carrying out evaluation for more projects, like this Weogerere, Buto, Namugongo Road, which creates a tourism circuit. You know, Namugongo is a tourism area. So these are some of the roads that we are right now carrying out evaluation on. And once we complete the evaluation process, we will sign contracts. So since it is 5 years, we design them in phases. And once we finish designing, we advertise for construction, and then we start construction works.
Honorable Minister, sometimes roads are worked upon and they improved and they look good. Just one heavy storm and then they are totally flooded. And they won't take long before they are actually destroyed. So the flooding issue, do you have a solution for it?
That's why we have to start with the drainage system. If we don't work on the drainage system, then we shall not improve our roads. Then we have to educate the community of littering in the drainage system. Because right now, as we talk, people are just there littering in the drainage system. They don't know the use of the drainage system and the roads. Sometimes they even cook on the roads and they leave their things there. So also the community contributes to poor.
So what effort is there, Honorable Minister, to sensitize the community, on the dangers of littering?
We enforce them,
especially the Kavera, which is all over.
The Kavera
the
and
polythene
other
paper
things.
bag, the plastic paper bag.
For them, they don't mind whichever they have, they just litter in the drainage system, especially when it rains. So even these bottles, the plastic bottles, so we still have a lot of work in the community. And separation of garbage, because if we don't separate...
Kampala has plastic pollution crisis. I don't know whether you've seen it, or probably government is not yet to understand it, but these single-use plastic paper bags that are littered everywhere. Before we know it, our soils will not be productive. It has gone into the ecosystem. It is, in every place. In fact, I'm told even human beings are ingesting the plastic without knowing. Do you appreciate as cases here that we are having a plastic pollution crisis?
Mr. Kamara, the issue of waste management is a very serious thing that we really have to holistically address. It involves a lot of issues to do with mindset change. And under this program, we are, in order to support this stopping of flooding, we have identified the drainage black spots. And then there are some areas also, like Karidubi, drainage area, where we are trying to secure right of way, such that we can improve these drainages. However, much as we're putting in a lot of efforts, we are telling our people that it is important for them to put structures in the right place. When you see Kampala, many people have reclaimed the wetlands. And therefore, water is looking for its own way where it used to pass. And that is why we need a lot of support from NEMA, that is supposed to ensure that our wetlands are what? Are well managed and preserved. So we also tell our people to see that reclaiming these wetlands is not going to be justice to this country.
But,
so it is...
But Honorable Minister, it's not about telling them. If there's something wrong, if it is illegal, unlawful, the law must apply. Why do we have sometimes to leave people come and settle in a wetland, build permanent houses there when we are looking, and then over some years later we want to break them? Why do we let these things start in the first place?
Well, it's a matter of enforcing, but sometimes they build at night. So by morning time, they have already
even if they wanted to build at night, the house will take some time for it to be really complete. And
I think it's also corruption sometimes. It's a matter of corruption. You talk. Sometimes you might not be there, but I think they talk to some of the corrupt people, and they leave them construct those houses on the roadside, at the roadside, in the drainage system and everything. So they claim that land, and some of them claim they have.
Certificates of
certificates
from NEMA
and everything. So that's why you heard when they were evacuating them from Rubiji, they were shouting for us. We came here long time ago. Even today where I've been, someone has talked about that. Me, I've been in Rubiji I was in Rubiji. My family stayed in Rubiji for over 20 years. Now we're evacuated. Where do we go? That was our land. And we have land titles there. And we don't know how far true it is, whether they have land titles or they don't have land titles. So I think it's a combined effort. We need to work together as government, not only KCCA, but everybody should act. The community, us in government, and every person. Now KCCA has come up with a program of sorting garbage at source. And we're trying to give them different bags. Put this one here, put this one here, put this one here. But sometimes they go there and they find they have not put anything. Yet they are eating, they are doing everything there. So I think we should continue with our education.
Okay. Okay. Now that we're going to the garbage issue, really, the Honourable Minister, sorting at source or at home would be ideal. But what will it take, Monica, for people really to understand that plastic and the biodegradable and the metal are not put together? Because you need a really comprehensive effort that is going to massively sensitize for people to understand that, because it's like you're shifting their entire culture.
Mr. Kamara, behavior change is not a one-day issue. It involves a lot. But in as far as this Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development Program is concerned, we identified flooding in this region as a very big problem. After carrying out a research, one of the challenges facing this region is flooding. And under the program, we have deliberately earmarked resources to work on some of the black spots. When you see along Ginger Road, we are already, it is on a trunk road, we are already working with the Ministry of Works and Transport to make sure that we prepare the appropriate design that can suit that area. And there are so many spots around Bata or along Entebbe Road. That is where Karidubi drainage channel is. We are putting in a lot of effort, first of all, to engage the communities, to ensure that they give us the right of way, to make sure that the box culverts that we are going to put in those areas are those that will support the water that floods in that area, such that at least we, to some extent, mitigate. But it is not going to be a one-day thing. And as a ministry, we have developed Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Integrated Urban Development Master Plan that is looking at how does physical planning go hand in hand with development, economic development. And in the past, we did not plan so well for this city. And we are now realizing we have realized it is a big time bomb. And this master plan will support development of detailed plans. And all the investments, including this program of Greater Kampala Metropolitan Urban Development Program, feeds into the master plan, plus other programs.
When you talk about the master plan, and then the Honourable Minister, I remember, there have been many farms that have been contracted by KCCA to come and design and make master plan. I remember there was a South African farm, there was an Israeli farm, you know, that they come and say, this is what we need to do. And some of these designs and plans are gathering dust in government offices there. It's not that we don't have the plans, they have been there. Honourable Minister, even before you came to office, I'm sure you found a plan for Kampala and Greater Metropolitan Area. What happens to this plan?
Now, what happens when that plan is put in place? It involves breaking people's houses, because we need to put more roads there, we need to put everything in, because Kampala is not on plan. So that means politically, there's some things which you cannot just, it's a gradual change. It's a gradual change whereby, like I told you, we need a mindset change. Talk to Drake Lubega, we are going to put a toilet here, we are going to put this, we are going to put this. Accepting themselves, for us we have land titles with no roads here. So that means it's not an easy issue of just say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And sometimes as government, we might like to do something. Then politics gets in.
Then the leaders of Kampala should at least cease from telling us we are going to have the cable cars, we're going to have smart cities.
Maybe I can...
the cable cars are coming?
Maybe I can clarify for you. Maybe I can clarify for you. You see, the master plan we are talking about, it is a 25-year master plan, which is to be implemented up to 2050. And we have decided to identify and earmark, and it is costing about, to fully implement it, it is about $27 billion to implement it fully in 25 years, okay? And we have identified different projects within 5 years, the period for the National Development Plan. So that brings me to the situation where you are saying, why are they shelved? Now, we have come up with actionable areas where the master plan should not just be shelved, but it must be implemented.
Mr. Kamara, if we start with markets, if we improve on our markets, come up with good markets, then we shall shift these people to the markets. When we come up with good roads, then some people will also shift to those other areas. Then the congestion will stop in Kampala, especially the CBD. So that means gradually we can do something, but not just.
So, and we appreciate the roads are being worked upon, and you have even talked to each one of them, you know them by name, and the graders are working. But Honorable Minister, when you work on the roads, also have to think about some kind of an efficient public transport system for Kampala. How are people going to move on those roads? What kind of transport system do we have? Because if it's going to be the matatu, the taxis, and the border, again, we deserve better, don't we?
But Minister of Works has come up with a good program.
We are working
on
already.
Buses, we have Chirabus, we are working on the Leary line, we are working on the cable cars are also coming. Anytime.
Oh, Honorable Minister, I like it. The cable cars are also coming?
Yes.
By the way, in addition to what the Minister has said, the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development Integrated Master Plan has addressed these challenges that you are raising holistically, including transportation. We are looking at light rail, we are looking at mass transit, but of course, you must know it is not going to be a one-day thing, because this is a change that requires us to move step by step, engaging the people who have been in the informal sector, operating these taxis, matatus, and so on. So if we just come out and say stop, and yet this is the sector that has been employing our people, we will really cause disaster. So we are planning mass transit that will ease transportation in this region. And in our plan, we have identified Greater Kampala into 3. One, we looked at the core, which covers Kampala Capital City Authority. And we have looked at the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area urban growth areas. And then we have looked at the entire Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area. And we see where do we take the services and what kind of services. Of course, there was no way you bring mass transit when our roads are narrow. We are now coming up with roads which are dual carriage, which will ease mass transit, the buses.
So, okay, the roads that dual carriage, whereas we appreciate the roads that dual carriage, there's something fundamental wrong with the psyche of the people who live in Kampala. You will go in downtown, Honorable Minister, what you see there is anarchy. The borders and even the honorable ministers and members of parliament are no longer following the rules. Whether it's dual carriage, when it's supposed to be taking, the minister and the other people are coming back.
The other side.
You're taking the other side. And so are the borders. Sometimes, when even the police can stand by and look at them and they have nothing to do. Why do we have anarchy in downtown Kampala?
People are used to that and they think it's normal. So we need all to act. It's not only government to act, it's all of us to act. Teach them at the stations, this is not right, this is not right. I like to tell you that during our primary time, they used to tell us, you go and brush your teeth, do this, put on shoes, put on pants, do this, you have to shower. 2 times a day. But I think we need to go back to that. Start teaching the community. You have to do this, you have to do this to improve. People are taking things normally. Someone cooks at the roadside, at Equatorio, Hotel Equatorio. You remove hand, she says, now where do you want me to go? This is my area. I have to cook from here.
No, it's because you have not been able to enforce. Enforcement is weak. I'll give you an example, Monica. You came out with a beautiful idea of the non-motorized transport corridor. Namirembe Road coming down. It's beautiful.
Yes.
And when it was still being enforced in the first days, it was a joy to walk down, downtown. But right now, the borders and vehicles, everybody is squeezing in what is meant to be a non-motorized transport corridor. When everybody who is supposed to be enforcing are just standing by to look at them.
So that's why people don't appreciate what we did.
Mr. Kamara, let's not look at government as being far from us. You are also government. When me, who is one undersecretary, and the ED who is an ED, one person who sits here, is seated in the office, and there's something wrong going on, and Mr. Kamara, who is educated, is watching it, you are wrong. It is supposed to be all Ugandans who must take it upon themselves to make sure that we join hands and do the right thing and love our country.
Monica, this is why I'm telling you. This is why I'm reporting to the minister. I'm reporting to the undersecretary. I'm doing my part. Honorable Minister and Monica, we're going to take a break, and on the spot we'll be right back. My name is Patrick Kamara, and my guest this evening, Honorable Minister Kabanda, Minister for Kampala, Capital City and Metropolitan Affairs. We also have Monica Edamachu Ejura, Undersecretary, Minister of Kampala, Capital City and Metropolitan Affairs, and we're discussing matters of Kampala. The other issue I can see, Honorable Minister, is the behavior of littering, the behavior of disregarding the rules, the behavior of us, the people of Kampala, not doing what is expected of us. So what do you plan to do to us that are not following the rules, are littering everywhere, and even when we're driving, including the political class, you're pushing everybody on the side, and yet you're driving the wrong way. Nowadays, if people have money, each one of them, they will put a siren in their cars, including, what people call the socialites. They put siren and then everybody else is pushed on the road. I come from Toro region. Every time I'm driving back to Kampala on Monday morning, I reluctantly come back to Kampala because I don't want to be in this chaos. But because now 70% of the economy of Uganda is here, we find ourselves here. But the truth is, we live in this city, but we don't like it.
You don't like this city?
No, we don't. We love the chaos.
I think we need to come up with a policy as government and a rule of court. Because people, they just act anyhow. They don't respect. You want to do something, then the other one does the negative side, goes to the next negative side. And sometimes they're appreciated by the politicians. In fact, it's politics which has spoiled the city. Otherwise, if we would be so serious, I think we can improve Kampala. Like when you enter Rwanda, you cannot enter with this plastic bottle. They say you put it there, or you drink the water and litter it in the dustbin. Others here, they don't mind. Whatever happens, it happens. Going to just this, look at the pampers of our children. They just litter them anyhow. And it's also a problem now in Kampala, because someone stays upstairs, he just litters down here. Then in the morning time, people start picking. Even other bad things. So it looks like we have all, from the honorable ministers to the ordinary Kampala dweller, we have all fallen short.
Mr. Kamara, Under the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Urban Development Program, we have realized that one, we must monitor our investments and developments. And we are under institutional strengthening, developing systems. Remember, our infrastructure is holistic. It has street lights, it has CCTV cameras, it has walkways, and it is intended to ensure that we do not only sit back and relax, but we should be able to monitor these investments and ensure that there is operation and maintenance after the infrastructure is put in place. And the reason why we have engaged the communities, we have formed grievance redress committees, even at village level, at the project level, at the sub-county and entity level. These grievance redress committees are to enable us resolve some of these conflicts among the communities. And once we developed the systems, the softwares that are to enable us effectively monitor the city and the metropolitan area, we believe there will be an improvement. Okay. And we are going to enforce to ensure that we live in a conducive environment. We don't just live in anyhow manner.
Let's look at local. Yes, Honorable Minister.
I can add on that. If you look at the street lights, some of them are also vandalized. That's why some places are so dark. Go to Speak Road, all those lights were put there. But now they have vandalized them. So I think we need to educate the community. Tell them this is their Kampala. It's only, the Kampala is not for KCCA.
But Honorable Minister, you're not going to start appealing to people and begging them and talking to them. There is a government in power, and you have authority, you have the enforcement mechanism. Make sure if somebody is trying to steal or take something, the police is there, they should be punished.
We are planning to put scouts in Kampala to look around and at least be reporting those people. It used to be there in 1990s. It used to be there. We would put scouts around Kampala, but I think it's high time now we put them. They will be reporting to us that this one's littering here, this one's doing this one's doing this, or they call police and arrest those people. Otherwise, at this time, nobody is there. So many things are happening.
There was a time, Honorable Minister, not many years ago, when during the time when Jennifer Musisi was the executive director of Kampala, we had started to see a change in terms of people's behavior. People are not littering, people are not driving on the pavements. Those things were being respected, but unfortunately, somehow we've gone back.
Mr. Kamara, that is the reason why we are talking about awareness creation. And we are telling Ugandans, be patriotic, love your country. If you love your country, you will not go into misbehaving. I will call that misbehavior. You are doing something that under normal circumstances you see is a wrong thing, but you continue to do it. So awareness creation, training and building capacity, leave alone enforcing, because we need something that is going to be sustainable. Not a one-day thing, I'm arresting you, putting you to prison, and then the next day you get out and you go back to your usual business. And then another reason, you see, once we put this infrastructure, these people are not only going to be concentrated in the city. Some will move, because services are going to move closer to the people. Some will move away from the city center to those areas which have better infrastructure, better services. And once we decongest people and they move to those areas, at least the situation should be able to improve in the city instead of concentrating everybody here in the city center.
So now, when you, Honorable Minister, when you construct markets, for example, or reconstruct. In the meantime, when reconstruction is going on or building, where do you put the vendors?
No, we can work in a phased manner, not just removing them at once, but you can shift them to any other area. Then we work on this place. Then afterwards, we bring them back. Not just telling them to go, because they have nowhere to go. So we have to work it in a phased manner.
But in addition to this, different entities, Honorable Minister, have identified space where their vendors are going. And we are having a relocation plan. And we started telling them this before we even designed these markets, and say, identify a place where you can relocate these vendors. But of course, there are some big markets, like Honorable said. They are big. You may not develop them all at once. So vendors can operate on one side. Like for instance, I'll say Gaba Market. We're going to develop. KCC bought land. And people will want to see that land developed. So currently, people are operating on the street and so on. So once we develop this market, people should be able to move there.
So maybe for the benefit of the viewers and those who are interested, maybe give us an example of what markets you will be working on, you intend to work on.
We have already advertised the Kauku market. Okay. We have advertised the PG.
Bulaga market.
Yeah. We have advertised the Wakiso Central Market. We have Nansana Daily Market.
Nansana, there are many. There's a market at the junction of Nabweru. There's another market towards
the Daily Market, which is in the center.
Okay.
Nansana Daily Market. We have Gaba Market, Usafi. We have designed the Kame.
Chireka Market.
Chireka Market. We're still engaging the communities because. Like I have said, we must have the title in the names of the entity.
And the Kampala market.
Yeah. So we are engaging in some areas, but some areas we have already advertised for construction.
So, Honorable Minister, when do you intend to start construction of these markets you have talked about? And how long will it take?
For Wakiso Market, soon starting, but the others we are still coming up with the designs.
Yeah, Wakiso, Kauku, PG Central Market, we have already advertised for construction works, while the other markets are being designed. The markets like Gaba, markets like Usafi, they are in design phase. And once the design is concluded, we'll run the advert for construction works.
And this time the designs are going to be favorable, not like you said they want the Gaya market. This time we want the designs to be favorable for the community to appreciate. So
I want to pick up, for example, you talked about Usafi market, which I think is down as that connects also to Entebbe, old Entebbe Road. Is it a good idea to put a market like Usafi there, right at the exit or entry of the city? Because if you have very many people converging there, then you're creating a conducive environment for chaos and for traffic jam. Why do you choose such places for markets?
People have already been operating there, and you can't just wake up from nowhere and say move away. So if people are to be moved from the city center to other areas, we must create services that are conducive for them. They will move there because the services are now there. But you cannot just wake up and say, Usafi Market, which has been there for years, vendors get away, relocate. Relocate to where? When they have been operating there. So we want to handle human beings in a manner that even when they move, they know that it is now the right time. Not just waking up and say, move away. But that place is conducive for a market. And depending on the design, we are also making sure that the design is conducive to the environment where we're putting.
Honorable Minister, you we have allowed, for example, the abattoir just in the heart of the city.
Yes.
And it comes with all its own problem, all its mess. Why didn't we design or plan to have an abattoir on the periphery of Kampala? Meat can be transported into areas where it's going to be bought, not necessarily to have an abattoir right in the middle of the city.
And that abattoir has been there for a long time.
Yeah, you know.
For a long time.
But we thought you could manage and
we've
think
tried
better.
so many abattoirs around, but they have not picked. They tried even before us. They are taking them to Wachiso side. But up to now, they are still fighting. They want to come back to this abattoir in town, in the industrial area. So I think we need to work hard to tell people that this is not the right place. Otherwise, as KCCA, for us, we want even to repair that market, because it's not a good place for people. We need to repair it. It's in a solid state.
You know, some of those.
I still take you to the master plan, Mr. Kamara. I still take you back to the master plan. What have we identified in the master plan that is going to be the land use for that area? Okay? At the moment, people can operate. We have developed the strategic direction that Kampala Metropolitan area should take. So, when we go into the detailed plans, it will tell us, is this going to be an industrial area? Is this going to be a place for a market? So, it will guide our development. And the manner in which we intend to implement the master plan is in a manner that if someone has already put a structure that is not really friendly, you don't just wake up and say demolish. But this structure will have a lifespan. And once it has outlived its lifespan, the structure that will come up in that location should be according to our plan. Meanwhile, the areas that are virgin should be developed in line with the plan. And that is how we will manage our people.
And Mr. Kamara, I talked about Usafi Market. Usafi Market is a residential area. That is Chisenyi 3 area.
Yes.
So there are so many residents there who benefit from that market. So you cannot easily remove it anyhow and say, let me shift this market to another area. And I think they applied for it. They wanted it. And there is a tax park there. So that means those people from the tax park.
You know, Honorable Minister, I talked about that because I'm concerned about the traffic jam, the congestion in the city. And I'm thinking some of these business entities, whereas they are useful to us and we need them, and they also provide a livelihood to those people, we need to think about how we can have some of those centers in an area that is not going to cause congestion. For example, you have most of those shopping arcades in Kampala are designed also to have the basement parking for the cars. But Honorable Minister, you know that what is supposed to be parking on those buildings is actually now you have stalls, you have kiosks underground. So and then the vehicles are not parking there. That causes a problem. If a building is meant to have a parking, why can't it be used for that? So that the vehicles are not on the pavement and everywhere else.
And that's why I'm telling you that today, the kind of designs we are coming up with is in consultations with the beneficiary communities. Meaning, if we are going to a market, women go with their children. Do we need a nursery where these mothers can keep their children? Do we need to have a caretaker? Do we need to have a clinic? Such that we have a modern market. Not this market where you go, it is always full of flooding and so on. So this is the kind of market we are looking at. Not just any market that, any space created where people gather and you are calling it a market.
I want to thank you, Honorable Minister and Monica, for the time you've given us, for adding value to this platform, for at least giving us news that is good for the residents of Kampala. No, things are changing. We are not hopeful. We are optimistic that things are going to change. As we try to conclude this discussion, Monica, before I go to the minister, let me begin with you. What's going to be your concluding remark on the show tonight?
My concluding remark is we're so grateful to the people of Kampala Metropolitan area for supporting development initiatives that is intended to improve their livelihood. And we pray that they continue to cooperate with the government to ensure that we secure right of way. They work with us and enable us make a conducive environment for them to live in. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monica. Honorable Minister, what's going to be your concluding remark?
First of all, I have to appreciate you for inviting us for this show. Then secondly, I want to appreciate all the Kampala people, those who are cooperative with us. And I urge to each and everybody that they should come and work with us. They should support us, give us support, educate the community. And I think they're seeing some changes in Kampala, street lights, the green belt and other things. And tomorrow we are commissioning another road around Kabaka Lake and Kololo roads, which is going to be done by DOT services. And government has given them money. Today we signed an agreement with Colas. They are also putting up new roads, 127 kilometers. So
within Kampala?
Within Kampala. So that means we are going to improve in our infrastructure. So people just appreciate, instead of, because sometimes they only criticize Kampala, KCC, Kampala, KCC, just criticism. But they should also appreciate the little money we have, we use it well, and we are going to work for the people of Kampala. And I know we are improving with the signposts and everything. But they should also respect the policies in place.
All right. Like
you said, in downtown, things are just done like that, littering everywhere, people don't have toilets. And when we are approving the plans in KCCA, they will always have those basements down there. But as soon as they open the buildings, that's when they start using them for other issues. They start cooking from there, putting other things, and also even bars. At one time we found a bar in a market. One day market, there was a bar inside there, which was not meant to be there. So I think people should also behave as human beings, not just thinking that case is going to be looking around everywhere. How can you put even a shrine was there in one day market for which doctor? Yes, it was there, a shrine in the basement in our market. Then a bar. So people used to go there, we didn't know, but when we went there, we found them there. So I think people should also appreciate us and assist us. Otherwise, we cannot just do things as they want.
Honorable Minister Kamanda, I want to thank you so much for the time you've given us. Monica Edamachu, Undersecretary, I want to thank you. But more importantly, you, the viewer, I want to thank you for the privilege of your company. At least we've heard from the Minister and the Undersecretary, and we can also see some examples that Kampala is beginning to change, especially on the road sector. There's evidence that government is working, and we are hopeful that things will be better if they continue at that pace. Good night, and God bless you, God.